The Great Pumpkin Race. Once a year, the quiet town of Pumpkin Town buzzed with excitement for the biggest, goofiest, most pumpkin-packed event of the year, the Great Pumpkin Race. This wasn't just any race. Oh no! Each team decorated their pumpkin with wild costumes, and they'd line up to roll their pumpkins down the hill, hoping to win the grand prize, a year's supply of pumpkin pie. This year, people had been talking about one thing, Gizmo, the town's troublemaking goat. Known for his escaped antics and love for munching on anything in sight, Gizmo had somehow snuck into every town event. The Pumpkin Race Committee, however, had been clear, no goats allowed. But if there was anything the townsfolk knew, it was that Gizmo rarely followed the rules. Pumpkin parade preparation. The night before the race, families gathered in the town square to show off their pumpkins. There were pumpkins in pirate hats, pumpkins with silly mustaches, and even one dressed like a chicken. The children ran around admiring the pumpkins when suddenly, a small child shouted, "Is that Gizmo?" Sure enough, Gizmo was snooping around the pumpkin stand. Someone had decorated their pumpkin with a big, juicy apple on top, and Gizmo's eyes were wide with delight. But just as he leaned in for a snack, the pumpkin's owner shooed him away, saying, "Not this year, Gizmo." Gizmo gave a little bah, flicked his tail, and trotted off, but everyone knew he was planning something. Race day chaos. The next morning, the entire town gathered at the top of Pumpkin Hill, where the race would begin. Kids held their pumpkins tightly, whispering good luck charms and fixing last-minute decorations. The mayor, wearing a pumpkin-shaped hat, lifted his microphone. "Welcome, everyone, to the Great Pumpkin Race," he declared. "On your marks. Get set. Go!" The pumpkins rolled off with a rumbling clatter. Kids and parents sprinted down the hill, cheering and laughing as their pumpkins wobbled and bounced along the path. Some pumpkins spun wildly, and others veered off course, ending up in piles of leaves. But just as the crowd roared, there was a new sound, a familiar "baea." Charging from behind the bushes was Gizmo, still in his toilet paper ghost costume from last Halloween, and ready for action. He leaped onto the track and began chasing after the pumpkins, his little hooves clopping as he galloped down the hill. Children squealed with laughter as Gizmo dashed by, nudging pumpkins, sniffing hats, and occasionally giving a particularly tasty-looking one a quick lick. Gizmo's grand entrance. Gizmo caught sight of the biggest pumpkin, painted in bright colors with a superhero cape flapping in the wind. Deciding this would be his pumpkin, he butted it gently with his head, making it roll faster and faster. The superhero pumpkin bounced wildly down the hill with Gizmo right behind it, determined to win the race. The crowd gasped as the superhero pumpkin flew down the track, somehow avoiding every obstacle. Gizmo, proud of his pumpkin pushing, gave a victorious bleat and chased after it, but he got so excited he forgot to slow down. He passed everyone and skidded right past the finish line, with the superhero pumpkin rolling in right behind him. The crowd erupted in laughter and cheers. "Gizmo wins," they shouted. The Pumpkin Prince, the mayor, walked up to Gizmo, wiping a tear from his eye from laughing so hard. "Well, folks, it seems we have a winner this year, and it's Gizmo." He placed a crown made of mini pumpkins on Gizmo's head, and the town band played a silly fanfare. Gizmo stood proudly, bleeding as if he'd planned the whole thing. From that day on, Gizmo was officially known as the Pumpkin Prince, and he was invited to all the town's future pumpkin events. Every Halloween, they even left out a pumpkin for Gizmo to snack on as a special prize. And so, every year, the Great Pumpkin Race wasn't just a race, it was a chance to see the Pumpkin Prince in action. Because as every kid in Pumpkin Town knew, Halloween just wouldn't be the same without Gizmo and his great pumpkin adventure.